I'll show you all the engineering, and then top coated it with a decorative stone. So we're roughing out this garden path and try and chip away about 50 to 100 mil of dirt. Continue to remove our temporary timbers. Some scrap material, we flip it back over. The outside curved garden edge that has to be called golden pathway.
Close the door and leave the light on. The morning light should be coming soon. Kick off your shoes and leave the winter and the pain it brings to you. Lay your head upon my shoulder. Shut off your thoughts and clear your mind.
We're just finishing up our pathway we added to this terracotta paving project. We used a base layer of plastic to stop weeds growing through, base gravel for strength and drainage, and then top coated it with a decorative stone that happens to be called golden pathway. We mixed that 50-50 with packing sand to give it a bit more density for walking on. We've just got a little section over here to finish off. We've just been mixing it up on this tarp, then we just rake it over. So follow me on this journey as we create this garden path with decorative stone. I'll show you all the engineering, how we put the timbers in, forms for the edges, put a base layer down, put some plastic down, and then eventually these paving stones and our top coat of decorative stone.
Now the end we know is coming in. We left our lives the way we want, without fear. They told me all the time I'd have no chance. I'd say I wouldn't have if you weren't there.
So we're roughing out this garden path. We're going to edge it with treated pine, put plastic and gravel down, and then eventually paving stones, probably like these ones over here. We're going to add to the drainage system we already started with this paving job up against the house.
I'm not lonely when I'm with you.
Yeah, we're going to excavate all the dirt for this pathway and get plastic down and put these timber borders in place and add gravel later. I'm just going to reuse this existing plastic we have here. We use these leftover timbers to map out our pathway so we'd know where to excavate. This will change in the final design, but it gives us an idea of where to remove the dirt from. We start this process with our mattock, but not digging too deeply because we want to keep the ground firm below for the gravel we're going to add on top later. Just take your time and try and chip away about 50 to 100 mil of dirt.
Sometimes I feel lonely in my head, and I want to go over there instead. But I want to be happy. Never give up the way we feel. I'm lonely I'm lonely. I'm not lonely when I'm with you.
Yeah, so we're just going to keep chipping away at this pathway. We get it all dug out, then get our plastic down. And we're just removing our temporary timbers as we go so we don't lose track of where we want to dig the path out. We're just stacking them off to the side because we'll be using this timber for the actual path later.
Started past my time and felt sorry. Can't trust the feel unless you see.
A project like this requires a lot of digging. In fact, it's pretty much all digging. So we try and get into it and enjoy it. And there's a process to doing this properly, like all things. Taking your time, working on one small piece at a time, trying to excavate, say, a metre or a yard of path at a time, not overfilling your barrow so it's too hard to move, and just work through it. And just try and enjoy the process. Listen to the birds, take lots of breaks, stay hydrated, enjoy the sunshine.
I'm lonely. I'm not lonely when I'm with you.
And when we've dug enough with our mattock and shovel, we smooth it out with the rake to get a nice flat surface for where our plastic and gravel is going to lay down. Try and remember not to dig too deep because we're using the compacted ground as part of our support for the gravel we're going to add in later.
Now the end we know is coming near. We left our lives the way we want.
After you've successfully dug out a couple of meters and got it flattened out, continue to remove our temporary timbers and then pull up the plastic that we're going to use later and continue on digging.
I'd say I wouldn't have if you weren't there. But I didn't, we didn't make the most of it.
The mattock is a good tool for this because it can chip through the hardened clay and also cut through any plant roots you come across, which is common when you're digging through a garden bed.
I'm lonely. I'm lonely.
Try and keep your worksite organised by not having your tools in your way, having your wheelbarrow in the right position so you can shovel dirt into it easily, and of course don't overfill your barrow as it becomes difficult to move later. And again, try and enjoy this process. It's repetitive and tedious, but there's a meditative quality you can enjoy if you take your time and just go shovel by shovel. Once we've removed a sufficient amount of dirt and raked it smooth, we can start to install our timber edges. These particular timber edges are treated pine and they're left over from a previous project, so we're making use of some scrap material.
Sometimes I feel lonely in my head, and I want to go over there instead.
The layout for this timber edge is in a curve, and we're going to make the segments about 1 metre long to keep it even and symmetrical. But each join is going to have an angle on it, so we need to establish that angle so we can set our saw to cut the timber at the right angle so everything ends up tight and strong.
I'm lonely. I'm lonely. I'm not lonely.
The system we're using to keep all these edge pieces together is by adding blocks which will sit underneath the pathway. So we assemble it upside down.
Started past my time and felt sorry. Can't trust the feel unless you see how much I will and won't do for you.
And then when it's all complete, we flip it back over, reposition it in its original position, sometimes requiring a little adjustment.
If it won't, then you tell me, then I start again.
Removing a little extra dirt to get it level, and then we move on to the next piece.
I'm lonely. I'm lonely. I'm not lonely.
We're ending the inside curved edge with a straight piece that runs into the existing terracotta pavers. This requires a step down to match the height of the terracotta pavers, so we install a little step towards the end of the edge. Now that our inside edge is complete and sturdy, continue to excavate for the outside edge, which is going to sit flush with the ground. Because the inside edge is sitting a little higher than the outside edge, we're going to use the excavated dirt from the outside edge to backfill the upper edge of the inside curve.
Now the end we know is coming near. We lived our lives the way we want, without fear. You told me all the time I'd have no chance.
We assemble this outside edge the same way we did the inside edge, upside down, so we can drive our screws and blocks to hold the whole thing together.
I didn't, we didn't make the most of it, so we'll make the rest the most of all we can.
And then we flip it back over the right way and put it in its position.
I'm lonely. I'm not lonely when I'm with you.
The outside curved garden edge runs into a straight corner. The piece for this straight corner will have to be ripped out of a full sleeper. So we've got the dirt cleared out yesterday, got our edges in. Now we're just going to work on this section behind me here. Join me in the next episode. Here's a preview of what we'll be covering. When we set up our saw, we could start to place our timbers out before we put the piece on top to lock everything down. We continued to add garden stakes. Now that all our edging's in place, we laid out the plastic flat. We fixed it off with a staple gun. Drainage is always important when you're engineering garden systems. Thanks for joining me this week on my YouTube channel. Check the link below, and while you're at it, hit the subscribe button or make a comment so I can help you with your future construction solutions.
And don't forget to follow our channel for more ideas and how-to tips for home and garden projects.